We should have seized all Saudi Arabian assets in this country, declared war on Saudi Arabia, rounded up every one of their citizens living in our country and executed them on public television, and then fired multiple nuclear warheads at that country.
Question: what do you think of when you think of strongmen and powerlifters? I think of someone like that. I do. That's what I think of when I think of powerlifters, strongmen. I think of some big dude who's strong. All right, so what I don't think of is a little fella who tells everyone he's strong, but clearly isn't. All right, welcome back to my second video of the day. And this is just a quick review of Jason Blaha's video where he reviews Brian Shaw's video. Okay, so Brian Shaw in this video, I mean this video of Blaha's here, Brian Shaw shocked at his recent DEXA scan results. Yep. So that's the video we're going to be reviewing, and this is the video that Blaha is reviewing. All right, so it's all everyone reviewing everyone. All right, so we're just going to have a little look at this, just a quick peek to see what it's all about. So he's having a little pump up there. I mean, you know, if I think of a powerlifter or a strongman, this is the sort of image of a person that would be a powerlifter or a strongman that comes into my mind, you know? Big dude, lots of muscle, just power. Hence the word powerlifter, yeah?
Alright guys, I know you have all been following along with this weight loss transformation, and I don't know if you've been paying attention, but I feel like I'm starting to look pretty good. I'm going to give you guys a little preview with the shirt off. Ugh. Ugh.
That is a big fella. That's a big old dude. All right, so that's just a powerhouse, you know. God knows how much he weighs, but that is a big dude.
So now that you've got the preview, I want you to pause the video and guess what my body fat is at, because we are doing a DEXA scan tomorrow. So DEXA scan will not lie about where the body fat is at. First person to comment correctly, we're going to go ahead and pin your comment to the top. We will see you guys tomorrow.
All right, so he seems like a nice fella, you know, a bit one of them sort of typical sort of big old dudes, big sort of gentle giant. Anyway, so he seems like a nice fella. And he's made a video. And of course, if he's made a video, that means someone else is going to make a video about it. And, you know, this guy's got nearly 100,000 subscribers. Right, so, of course, Blaha's going to make a video, isn't he? Blaha, because he knows all about DEXA scans and powerlifting, doesn't he? So let's check in with Blaha. Let's venture into the closet and see what he says.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. You guys know what time it is? Time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. For those of you who like these type of videos, please remember to click the like down below. It would be greatly appreciated.
Greatly appreciated.
Please click the subscribe button and the little bell next to it to ring my bell, baby. But today we're going to discuss Brian Shaw's DEXA scan and the fact that he acted really shocked, and a lot of his followers acted shocked at what his body fat came back as. And I'm not even sure what happened with his original, because he was upset there was major discrepancies between the one that was on the Arnold versus the one in a real clinical setting. You know, again, at a hospital, a bigger table and everything. And I don't know what will happen with the Arnold one, but one of the things he did, I think, that was pointed out, is that they weren't fasted for that, which does matter. I'm someone who did multiple DEXA scans last year.
But we never saw them. It's amazing that he's done so much stuff in the past, always in the past. You know, he's got all these cameras, never films anything, never leaves his house. Just in the fantasy world of Blaha, he's done all these wonderful things, but no one's ever seen him do them, and there's no video evidence. And if there was any evidence, it mysteriously burned in a fire. So multiple DEXA scans, and all we got is some dodgy that looked a bit fake, really hard to tell whether it was real or not. Some dodgy DEXA scan last year sometime that he's been milking ever since, you know. Oh, multiple DEXA scans last year. No, we saw one that was very sort of dodgy and suspicious anyway.
And let's be honest here, guys. The first time most of you get a DEXA scan, people are really shocked with their body fat comes back as. Because this is the difference between an actual scan that scans your body internally versus like the skin fold measurements. People who do the skin fold measurements always come back much leaner than what the scan determines that they are. And I think what people need to remember is that because a lot of people's lifestyles have maybe dieted down leaner, who maybe bulked up or ate a lot of junk food at a certain point.
Yeah, ate a lot of junk food at a certain point. Remember my old video on him stuffing his face, his contest prep for that one little meet that he did all those years ago. We saw him filling his face with cookies, with sugary drinks, energy drinks, pancakes covered in Nutella and all sorts of rubbish. So yeah, and then we've seen the bacon, the amounts of bacon and cheese and all the really cheap, nasty processed foods he eats. We've seen it all. We know what he eats, and he would know all about how bad food, bad diet affects the body. He is probably highly qualified in that.
Or didn't have the best lifestyle as far as that goes. I think you'd be surprised that they oftentimes have a lot more internal fat in their organs that the skin folds don't always pick up. And that matters a lot. That matters tremendously because, again, the skin folds usually just tell you how thick it is under your skin. But for a lot of people, they carry a lot of fat around their organs.
I hope you're listening, kids, because, you know, Jason Blaha is an expert in all things nutritional, in fitness-related topics, biomechanics. This is an expert. He is a coach, you know. He's a coach, don't you know? Does he really think people still take him seriously? You know, maybe once upon a time, a few people might have took him seriously, but certainly not now. I mean, these videos are so dull. I mean, you see the graphics and everything. Look, he's outside. He's you know, he's engaging his audience. His videos are interesting. He seems to have a bit of character and personality. And then there's this bloke here who sits in a cupboard making videos to pay his bills. I think make $10-15 a video if he's lucky. Anyway, let's continue on.
And particularly a lot of bodybuilder types, people who do more flexible dieting approaches and maybe eat a fair amount of junk and stuff like that, they might look pretty good as far as their subcutaneous fat. They have a lot around their organs or certain substances they've used can contribute to that tremendously. But you take someone like Brian and he actually came back upset and he's like, I can't believe I'm 25%. And even some of his fans are at that point, they're going, oh, I can't believe it either. And it's like,
well, if we skip back, you know, to his shirtless video, I mean, he's a big old boy. He's got a lot of body mass. You know, he's got a lot of muscle. That's why he's a power lifter and a strength athlete. But you know, he's got a lot of fat, and I'd say 25 to 30% body fat. Yeah, looking at him here. So no surprise. Why are people surprised? Don't understand. You know, he's a big, strong man, lots of muscle mass. He wants to diet down and get rid of some of the fat, but, you know, he's a big old boy and he's got a lot of fat, and it is, I'd say, around 25% easy. So I don't understand the shock or why Blaha needs to make a video. He'll probably tell everyone how he may be smaller, but he's stronger. I haven't watched the full video yet, so he may say that. He probably will. I'm not as big as Brian Shaw, but I'm stronger.
Are you guys looking at him? I'm not going to be disrespectful, I'm not going to be mean about it, but it's very obvious. It is very obvious that in spite of the fact that, yes, Brian has an enormous amount of muscle mass, right? He has an insane amount of muscle mass. But in terms of his actual body fat, he is obviously morbidly obese.
Oh, come on. There's a difference between morbidly obese, just because the BMI scale says if you're this height and this weight, you are obese morbidly. The guy is packing on serious amounts of muscle. Yeah, he's still carrying weight, and that puts strain on his joints and his heart and all that stuff, but he's not obese like you used to be, where you were lying in bed 300 pounds, no muscle mass, just pure fat. You know, you were morbidly obese, not him. He's not morbidly obese. He's just a big dude with massive amounts of dense muscle tissue, which weighs more than fat. You were 300 pounds of fat. Like Jabba.
He's got fat. You can see visible large amounts of fat on his arms. He has large, significant amounts of fat all over his face, and he has a gut. I mean, the gut alone indicates what? Central adiposity.
Well, I tell you what, Blaha, I'd rather look like him than you. I really would. I'd rather look like this dude than you. Trust me. And I think 90% of the people watching this video would look more like him than you. I would rather look like this chap than you, Blah, than you.
Right? Central adiposity. And that tells us a lot about his lifestyle. That's one of my concerns.
So he's going to critique another man's lifestyle. This guy here who goes out, he gets things done, he's outside, he's
and see where the body fat is sitting.
You know, he seems like a nice fella. And then this guy's going to critique his lifestyle. Okay, Blaha, critique his lifestyle. And we will critique your lifestyle. We don't have to, because we know what it consists of.
With the whole strongman thing is the same concerns I would have with super heavyweight powerlifting. You know, because this comes up all the time. People have this image of powerlifters as fat. And these are people who obviously never been to a powerlifting meet. Because
well, you've only been to one, mate, that we know of. Oh, no. All the evidence for my multiple meets has been destroyed somehow. No. We only know of one meet that you've been to where you picked up those 3 participation medals and you proudly display them on your wall. That's it. That's the limit of your powerlifting experience as far as competition goes.
Realistically, if you think of powerlifters you've ever been,
I mean, please feel free to put me wrong. You know, please feel free to link your other competitions. You know, make a video on it. Make a video on all these power meets you've been to, because as far as I can see, you've only been to one, and that's where you got those silly little medals.
Big belly versus powerlifters with a 6-pack. The powerlifters with the 6-pack outnumber the guys with the belly, right? They're in the majority, if you were to compare.
So at a power meet, you got the guys, the big heavyweights who've got a lot of fat on them and a big bellies, and that, and then you've got the ripped little guys who outnumber the big guys with the big bellies. So where does how many people are there with udders? with the udders. Milk me! Milk me! Come on, where do the udders come in? Where do the udders fit in between the big bellies and the six packs? Where do you fit in, Blaha?
Compare the two. They're way vastly in the other direction, but people don't think that way, do they? Because they see the guys get highlighted for the super heavy lifts who are the really, really big heavyweights. But they don't understand that, like powerlifting, for example, is a weight class sport. The vast majority of people aren't in the 275, the 308, the super heavyweight. Those big classes represent a little tiny sliver of the sport.
All right, so, you know, I've skipped through this video earlier, and there is no point to it. There's no point to it. There's no climax. You're not learning anything new. All that's happened is this chap here, this chap here, and if you want to watch the full video, the name of the video is Getting My Body Fat Percentage Fail. Yeah, that's the main. That's the name of this video. So all that's happened is this guy's made a video, and then Blaha's commented on it for no reason. He's bringing nothing to the table. He's not adding anything. He's just merely clickbaiting the title again. All right, he's not being derogatory and horrible, although he did say he was obese. And he is if he's 25% body fat. But, you know, he's not slagging him off like he usually does, you know. So he's trying to keep that bit under control because of the Google rep had a word with him. And the old strikes, who knows what's the real motivator behind him, you know, stopping him from slagging off and, you know, attacking other YouTubers like he usually does. But, you know, this video has no meaning and no relevance to anything. He's just plucked a video out of the air, Brian Shaw's video, and making a video on it. But not adding anything, not bringing anything to the table, just purely clickbait for money. I mean, really, come on. Is that the best you can do, Blaha? Really? Is it the best you can do? Anyway, guys, I hope that was informative. I'm going to leave it there because there's not much more to say about this, really. I hope it was informative. Please like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a family. But most importantly, until next time, I'm out of here.
Hey, fuck this Haji. I'm going to shoot him in the gut at 300 yards and let him bleed out for a little while. And then when he's too weak to fight back, me and my friends are going to go pick him up and have a little fun with him and make him fucking talk before we feed him to the pigs.